Hi, I'm Peter Delucia. I'm the Assistant Commissioner of Health for the Westchester County Department of Health.
Good afternoon. I'm Adam Ochs. I'm with the Town of Lewisboro, New York Emergency Management Committee.
And you may notice we're standing about 6 feet apart because we're practicing social distancing. And right now, it's very important, given the COVID-19 pandemic, that we stay home and we practice social distancing, or I like to call it physical distancing, because I know my kids at home are on the social media all the time. So kind of keep it in your mind. It's a physical distance of about 6 feet. And Adam, why don't we talk a little bit more about how important that is?
Exactly, and I appreciate that. What we mean by distancing and staying home, more importantly, is to exactly that, stay home. Only go out with for essential errands such as grocery shopping, if you need gas for your vehicle, but other than that, stay home. We cannot emphasize that enough. The only way we're going to stop this spread is by limiting our going out and limiting our distances between each other in groups. So we must stay home as much as you can, and just go out for essential trips only, and combined trips. Don't make multiple trips, combined trips. So if you gotta go grocery shopping, get gas and so forth, make it all one trip, and then go home and stay home.
And Adam, what if I don't feel good? What if I'm home and I'm starting to have some symptoms and I don't feel good? Should I still go out and go grocery shopping?
No, absolutely not. You should either get delivery, like Peapod or any other delivery services, and have them delivered to your house. Or if you don't have the means, reach out. I'll make a personal offer. You can reach out to me, Adam Ochs, 203-856-6121, and I could help you make arrangements to get your food delivered. If you need prescriptions filled and so forth, we'll be able to help you coordinate that activity so you stay home, because that is the utmost. If you're not feeling well, stay home, stay in your house. Don't go out for any reason.
That is excellent information, and that's so important. And from the health department, we see that. I get complaints and calls all the time that people are seen out and they're coughing and things like that. No, you have to stay home. There are services available. There's also county services available. You can make a phone call and call 813-5000. That's 914-813-5000, and we can try to help you and get your town information if you don't have that available, to see if there are any senior services and things like that available to help you out if you are homebound. That's very important. And also, if you are going out to do your grocery shopping and you are a senior, many grocery stores now, if not all of them, are offering senior hours for shopping. So when you do go out, you want to go out when the least amount of traffic is out there. When I mean by traffic, I'm not talking about car traffic. I'm talking about people traffic, so we can keep that physical distancing. And when you go into the supermarket, keep that in mind. There's some safety tips when you go shopping, other than the physical distancing. You want to make sure that you wash your hands when you get home from that supermarket. That's very important. If you have gloves, or the supermarket's providing you with gloves, use those gloves while you're shopping, but then, make sure that you dispose of those gloves properly. And I don't know if Adam wants to talk about that. We've seen litter around the county, and I don't know what Lewisboro's seen.
Yes, we've also spotted, myself personally as well, have spotted gloves that have been disposed improperly, such as just like thrown in parking lots and so forth. That is not the way to do it. Properly take your gloves off and dispose of them properly in the trash or trash receptacle and so forth.
And then after you dispose of your gloves, make sure you wash your hands. And remember, when you're wearing gloves, they are now an extension, they're like your hands. So what you're touching is now contaminating those gloves. So remember that you want to limit that contact with your face, even with the gloves on, because now your gloves have been contaminated. So that's why it's so important, after you go shopping and you go home, that you've disposed of your gloves properly, and anywhere that your gloves have touched, you've sanitized, whether it be the steering wheel in your car, whether it be your countertops at home, things like that. And you want to use a sanitizer that works for this. Now, there's plenty of over-the-counter sanitizers. You take a look at the label, and you always want to follow the label, because certain products have certain restrictions and places where you can or can't use them, or certain times you have to leave them so that they actually kill the virus, and certain times you have to wash things down afterwards. So I cannot emphasize enough, the label is the law. Always look at the label on the product you're using. Now, you want to use a product that kills viruses. If it says it kills norovirus, TB, things like that, you know that's a nice strong sanitizer that's going to work. Some of them will say coronavirus because there have been other coronaviruses out there. Those are the kind of sanitizers you want to use, and typically they contain bleach. But if you're not fortunate enough to find a sanitizer or wipes that are available, you can easily make your own sanitizer if you can get bleach. And you just have basically 4 teaspoons of bleach to a quart of water. A quart of water is also is 4 cups of water, or if you don't have a measuring cup, the 16-ounce bottle of water that you buy, 2 of those in a container with 4 teaspoons of bleach, you've made yourself a great sanitizer to sanitize the high traffic areas or the high touch areas in your house. So that's very important that when you use that sanitizer, what I'm going to tell you is you let it air dry. Contact time is what's important. You don't go drying off afterwards, you let it air dry. Just don't use that sanitizer on food contact surfaces without washing it down after you use it. If you want to make a sanitizer for food contact surfaces, and when I mean food contact surfaces, I mean cutting boards and places where you're actually prepping food directly on, that's 1 teaspoon of bleach to a quart of water is plenty, and you can let that air dry also. When you're you can use that same solution, the 4 teaspoons of bleach to the quart of water, you could put it in a bottle, and you can cap it. It'll store very well. Just make sure you mark on that bottle that it's bleach or poison. Put that on there. And if you want to use that in a spray bottle or a small spray bottle to spray around, or even to use that if you're going to sanitize a cart or something like that when you go shopping, that's a great sanitizer for that also. So those are some important tips for what you want to do when you're going to the supermarket. Also, I could talk about masking. I think a lot of people are confused about when it's important to wear a mask and when it's not important to wear a mask, and types of masks. The masks you see that emergency responders use, you typically hear N95. Those masks are specific. My staff and myself are fit tested to wear those masks. We have to go to a doctor to get a physical, because when you wear those masks, it impedes your breathing because it really seals all around your face. Okay, that's not a mask the general public should be wearing. If you are lucky enough to get a surgical mask, those are the masks you can wear. But remember, when you're wearing that surgical mask, you're protecting other people from you. So you may be asymptomatic. You may be carrying the virus and not even know it. So there's some different guidance that's been given out by the CDC and the World Health Organization, and that's rapidly changing. A lot of the things we talk about on a daily basis are changing. But if you feel comfortable wearing a mask, and it's not a mask that's going to hurt your breathing, that's just a surgical mask, feel free to wear that mask. And what you're doing is you're protecting other people from you. There's questionable whether you're getting any protection by wearing it, but I think in general, the more people at this point that if you can get that mask and it's not being taken away from a healthcare professional, there's not a problem with that. So those are a couple of things. Adam, what else would you like to add?
I think you wrapped it up very well. I mean, your information has been very useful and so forth. I even learned something new today too, so I appreciate this. So thank you for all this.
Oh, and Adam, thank you for everything you're doing. Just remember, the big message here is if you don't need to go out, you need to stay home. Be sensible with your sanitizing. Sanitize multiple times, especially depending on how many people are in your house and if you do go out shopping. Another thing that came to mind, another tip that I like to give people, is the reusable bags. It's become very popular. A lot of laws have been passed recently banning plastic bag usage and things like that, and using reusable bags. So if you are using your reusable bags, make sure to sanitize those also. Remember, those are touching different surfaces. You're bringing them into the supermarket. You may be putting them in a shopping cart, and then you're bringing them to your home. So take a look and see what they're made out of. See if you can run them through the laundry and the dryer. That would be fantastic. If there may be a type of material, a plastic material that may melt in the dryer, use that sanitizing solution I talked to you about, the 4 teaspoons of bleach to the quart of water, or one of your commercial sanitizers that you can spray that bag down, wipe it down and let it air dry, and then that bag's going to be safe to be used again. If you have children, toddlers, I worry about the little ones that are going around on their all fours around the house. Think about, what you're bringing in on your shoes if you do wind up going out. So you want to clean those floors, maybe sanitize the baseboards. Not something you have to do, 3-4 times a day, but if you came in from outside and you track down a certain area, sanitize that area. Concentrate more on your refrigerator handles, your microwave oven, touch pads. There's so many things in the house now with technology that have touch pads now. now, with your refrigerator, your dishwasher, your laundry machines. Those are things you should wipe down once or twice a day with a solution. And also don't forget about your toilet bowl handle and your handles, your faucet handles. And the one thing we didn't mention yet is hand washing. I think I mentioned when you come home from the supermarket how important it is to wash your hands, but it's important to wash your hands multiple times during the day. So that physical distancing, stay at home, and hand washing. And remember, proper hand washing is 20 seconds. 20 seconds is longer than you think if you never concentrated on it. What we say is sing or hum the happy birthday song to yourself twice in your head. That's 20 seconds. And during those 20 seconds, you're thoroughly, you turn your water on first, you have your paper towel ready on the side, you put that soap, you wet your hands, you put that soap in your hands, and then 20 seconds of really working and lathering up those hands, rinse it underneath the water, take your paper towel, dry your hands, take another paper towel, shut off your faucets, and you're good to go. So I think that covers a lot of it. I mean, I can always be reached. Adam gives out his number. I'll give you out my direct office number. My direct office number is 914-864-7355. More than happy to answer any questions that you have if you give me a call.
And I would just like to take this opportunity to thank all our first responders, our healthcare providers, and all those others that are on the front lines of this situation, the COVID-19. Our retailers, our truck drivers, our people that are in the restaurant industry, our grocery industry, that are making our lives a little more bearable through all this. And I especially want to thank the Westchester County Department of Health, the New York State Department of Health, Westchester County Office of Emergency Management, and the County of Westchester overall, and the state of New York, and even my federal partners and my colleagues throughout emergency management. I could not do this without them, and their support has been nothing short of outstanding. So I am appreciative every single day of our partnership and our relationships. So thank you.
Adam, ditto. Thank you so much for that. Feel the same way. All the towns have been fantastic. Everybody, any of the supervisors, emergency management committee members, anybody that's been reaching out to the health department or the EOC, they're all professional. We're getting the information out there, and we're working as a team. And that's why we're doing infomercials like this. Even our cameraman today, Henry Wolf, who I've worked with closely in the past, is almost 10 feet away from me right now. Not used to working that far away from him. He's a good friend of mine, but we all understand during this time we have to practice that physical distancing. And I think if we work together as we have, we're all going to get through this, and it'll be something we'll be able to talk about. And hopefully, I'm going to finish with, I hope that I always look for a silver lining with all of this, and I've heard a lot of good things about resetting the environment and all these different things people are saying. What I'm going to say is, if at the end of the day people learn to take a little bit more time washing their hands and spending time cleaning their homes and worrying about contact surfaces and things like that, it's going to go a long way to keep people well and stop spreading the flu, norovirus, all the coronaviruses, and a lot of different nasties that we don't realize we pick up in our day-to-day activities because we're taking our hands and touching our face, grabbing that sandwich without washing our hands and putting it to our mouth, and a lot of illnesses that wind up happening can be avoided. So thank you so much. Thank you for spending time to listen to the two of us today, and please stay home and stay safe.
You're watching Lewisboro Community Television, Channel 20.